be so furious he'll refuse to come down here.
Look, Miss Kelly, he's probably fit to be tied, but he's a man, isn't he?
I guess so. His name is Mister.
I guess so. His name is Mister. Alright, guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. Today we are watching Harvey, which was recommended by you guys that I checked this movie out. And since we're doing movies that you guys have recommended that I do for the month of November, Harvey has been requested a while back, and I just haven't had time to get to it. But today I actually do have the time to get to it. So with that said, what do I know about Harvey? I don't know much. I know it was made in the 1950s. I know James Stewart was in it, and I know that it's about a rabbit, an imaginary rabbit, and that's all I know about this film going into it. I just want to say that I really liked James Stewart's performance in The Rear Window. Let's just go ahead and get right into Harvey. Gotta love Universal in the starting music. Harvey.
After you.
After you?
I've got a special delivery here.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
The Dowd.
Oh, the Dowd's my name. Elwood P.
Sir?
Let me give you one of my cards.
Oh, that won't be necessary, sir. Just sign right here.
Well, I can tell immediately that that's James Stewart. I don't even have to guess at that. I can just tell by the sound of his voice. I wonder what those girls were looking at.
Myrtle, it's a wonderful feeling to have your relative out of the house before the company comes. Your uncle always spends the afternoon downtown at those filthy bars and taverns.
There was a man here a minute ago, and he stopped and he spoke to me. He gave me his card. Here. And then he introduced me to somebody.
To whom?
Do you think I'd stay in this house after that?
Why did it go badly?
Mother, people get run over by trucks every day. Why can't something like that happen to Uncle Elwood? Myrtle, May Simmons, I'm ashamed of you. Is not his fault.
Whose fault is it then?
Of course it's because of the rabbit.
I know whose fault it is, dear. But I'm not telling.
You're not telling.
Your Uncle Elwood is not living with us. We're living with him.
Living with him and his pal.
You promised.
His pal, Harvey.
Oh, you said that name.
So Harvey is the rabbit?
Mother, why did Grandmother leave all of her property to Uncle Elwood?
I suppose it was because she died in his arms.
It doesn't make sense. She couldn't make out her will after she died, could she?
Oh, Myrtle, don't be didactic. It's not becoming in a young girl.
Didactic? Didactic. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna have to look that up. Just for shits and giggles.
Who'd want me?
Oh, Myrtle, dear, you're sweet, and you have so much to offer. I don't care what anyone says. There's something sweet about every young girl. And a man takes that sweetness, and look what he does with it. Elwood has just gone out, but I'm so afraid he may come back.
In a few minutes, a man will be crossing the square. He'll be wearing a hat and a coat and carrying another one over his arms. His sister's giving a party. He wouldn't fit in. His name is Elwood P. Dowd.
Why would he help her out?
Oh, the doctor will see you in a minute.
We must be more careful.
Well, I would say so.
Now, you're sure this is all right? You wouldn't rather sit in the booth? Well, all right.
Would he prefer a booth, Mr. Dowd?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Cracker. He seems to prefer the bar today.
Been doing a job for the state, making license plates.
Oh.
I wonder if that's the period of time when they started to introduce numbers into it as well, because the alphabet wasn't long enough. Or maybe I get that backwards. Maybe it's in reverse.
I kind of got the impression your sister held it against me, because I did a little time. She's giving a clam bake this afternoon.
It didn't tell me anything about this. It must have slipped her mind.
I don't think it slipped her mind based on what we know.
What can I do for you, Mr. Dowd?
What did you have in mind?
What's your order?
2 martinis.
2 martinis.
Mrs. Chauvenet is here.
Mrs. Chauvenet is here. Aunt Ethel.
Vita Louise Simmons, I thought you were dead.
Oh, no. No, I'm very much alive, thank you.
What about now? Sorry, bad joke, bad joke. That was kind of mean of me to say that.
I want to see Elwood. You realize, Vita, I haven't seen Elwood in years. I was saying to Mr. Chauvenet just the other... what do you want, my dear?
She wants your coat, put it away.
He never comes to the Yale alumni dances anymore. I haven't seen him at the club or at the horse show in years. Well, is Elwood happy, Vita Louise?
Oh, yes, Aunt Ethel. Elwood's very happy.
Is that Mrs. Frank Cummings? Doesn't she look ghastly? I thought she was dead. I must get a closer look.
Why does she think everyone's dead? I know we're not going to get an answer to that, but still, it's like...
Oh, no. Elwood.
She just wants everyone to die.
Aunt Ethel. Well, what a pleasure to come in and find a beautiful woman waiting for me.
Elwood, you haven't changed.
And now, Aunt Ethel, I'd like you to meet Harvey. Harvey, you've heard me speak of Aunt Ethel Chauvenet. She's one of my oldest and dearest friends. Aunt Ethel, I can see that you're disturbed about Harvey. Now, please don't be. He stares that way at everybody. It's his way. But he likes you, I can tell. He likes you very much.
She's got a concerned look on her face. She has a concerned look on her face.
Oh, I'll be going. Little lemon fish and a turkey wing and some walnut dressing. Your uncle has disgraced us for the last time in this house. I'm going to see to that.
Upstairs to pack. I'm going to lose myself in some strange city. I'm going to change my name.
No, don't do that yet, dear.
Don't do that yet. Don't do that yet.
Manager, you failed.
I didn't fail, Judge. I haven't even tried yet. I've been in the doctor's office.
Simmons, one of my stupid headaches. Such a lovely character.
Goodbye.
Oh, Elwood, I want to talk to you. We've got to take those steps we discussed once, you know. Yes, I want you to make all the arrangements. Elwood, you and I may take a little ride later.
Oh, I'd like that.
You know, I don't like where this is headed. Sounds like they're going to, put him into a mental hospital or something like that.
Jane Austen. Sense and Sensibility.
I've heard of that book, but I've never actually read it.
Will you wait here for me, Elwood, dear?
You want both of us to wait, Vita?
Oh, yes, Elwood, both of you. Driver, will you keep an eye on him, please? I won't be but a minute.
I won't be but a minute. Old expression. Why do you have a wrench?
And you wish to winter your brother here at the sanitarium for treatment. Mrs. Simmons, what is your brother's name?
Well, I'm sorry. Life is not easy for any of us. It's Dowd, Elwood P. Dowd.
Wilson, there's a Mr. Dowd outside in a cab. Will you ask him if he'll be good enough to step up to room 24 South Wing G? Now, I'll see if Dr. Sanderson can see you, Mrs. Simmons.
Dr. Sanderson? I want to see Dr. Chumley himself.
Oh, but Mrs. Simmons, Dr. Sanderson is the one who sees everybody. Dr. Chumley sees no one.
Why is that?
Oh, yeah, isn't this wonderful, Vita?
Okay, buddy.
Just yank him on. It's like, get over here from Mortal Kombat.
This is not easy for me, Doctor.
Naturally, these things aren't easy for the families of the patients. I understand. Now, tell me, how long has it been since you first noticed any peculiarity in your brother's actions?
I noticed that he seemed different after we came back, after Mother had died.
Well, that makes sense. And I mean, that really does make sense, though.
He drinks.
Mm-hmm. To excess?
Well, don't you call it excess when a man never lets a day go by without stepping into some cheap tavern? If you don't call that excess, Doctor, I'm sure I don't know what excess is.
Well, I didn't doubt your statement, Mrs. Simmons.
And I want him committed out here permanently because I cannot stand another day of that Harvey.
This person that you call Harvey, now who is he?
He's a rabbit.
Yes, perhaps.
No, he's...
A big white rabbit, 6 feet high, or is it 6 feet 3.5? Every once in a while, I see this big white rabbit myself.
Your mother's death, it depressed you considerably.
Nobody knows how much.
Oh, now, don't you worry, Mrs. Simmons. I am going to help you.
Oh, Doctor.
She needs a doctor as well.
You told me to keep an eye on that feller, but a big guy in a white coat came along. You want I should do something about his suitcase?
Oh, Elwood's things. Yes, well, I better come get them. I guess he might need them.
Mrs. Simmons! Sound the gong. Whistle, that poor woman mustn't leave the ground.
I didn't think that would happen to her, but I knew that based on what she was saying and how she was saying it, that the doctor might try to do something for her besides trying to live in that place.
Well, those for me?
For you, I should say not. They're for my brother, Elwood.
Wouldn't you like to come inside and pick some off the wallpaper?
Well, no, thank you. These will do nicely. Good day. You let me go. I'm a respectable woman.
That's for sure. Now, come, lady, be nice or I'll have to pick you up and carry you.
Everybody come,
Well, like I said earlier, it's taking an unexpected turn.
I want you to telephone this Elwood P. Dowd right away. His sister's condition is serious.
But, Doctor,
You'll have to sign these commitment papers for her.
But I didn't know the woman needed the treatment. She said it was her brother.
Of course she did. That's the oldest Dodge in the world.
But, Doctor, I thought the woman was all right, so I had Wilson take the brother up to number 24 South Wing G.
This man, Dowd, can sue us for false commitment. He can own the whole sanitarium.
That's kind of interesting that they think it's her instead of him.
Chiefers, they may be putting him in the hydro room right now. Get up there quick and see if you can get him down here. I'll break the news gently to Dr. Chumley. He may want to handle this himself.
What's the hydro room?
He'll probably be so furious he'll refuse to come down here.
Look, Miss Kelly, he's probably fit to be tied, but he's a man, isn't he?
I guess so. His name is Mister.
I guess so. His name is Mr.
Dr. Chumley, I'm afraid there's been a serious error.
Dr. Sanderson, we don't permit errors in this institution.
Okay, so we do get to see the room.
Mr. Dowd? I was wondering if you would come downstairs with me, please, to Dr. Sanderson's office. There's something he'd like to explain to you.
She said something about a bath.
It seems there's been a mistake. Just forget everything.
I have a suggestion. Why don't I do what she wants and then go with you?
That won't be necessary.
You could have had a bath, too.
I've already had a bath.
Oh, Miss Kelly, I wasn't speaking to you. I was speaking to my friend.
You know, people are people no matter where you go.
That is very often the case.
And being human are therefore liable to make mistakes. Now, Miss Kelly and I, we've made a mistake here this afternoon, and we'd like to explain it to you.
Well, your attitude may be old-fashioned, Doctor, but I like it. Like it very much.
Yeah, I didn't think you would have a problem with it.
I think the world and all of Vita, but I had supposed she'd seen her day.
She's a very sick woman. Why, she came in here insisting that you needed treatment.
Vita shouldn't be upset about me. I get along fine.
Exactly. Oh, I suppose that you take a drink now and then like the rest of us?
Like one right now.
Does she drink, Mr. Dowd?
Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't think Vita's ever taken a drink, Doctor.
I am going to surprise you. I think she has and does constantly.
I mean, is that based on her behavior, or are you just making an assumption here?
It was when she became so emotional about this big white rabbit, Harvey. I think that your sister's condition stems from trauma. There's the birth trauma, the shock of being born.
That's the one we never get over.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's actually pretty good. But I wonder if there are people out there that actually remember their birth. It would just be kind of interesting if that was the case.
It stands to reason no one has ever seen a white rabbit 6 feet high.
Not very often, Doctor.
Now, here are the commitment papers for you to sign, and here's a visitor's pass. You can come and see her whenever you like.
Now, you two have been so pleasant. Why don't we just keep on going with it? I'd like to invite you to come downtown with me, and we'll go to a charming little place called Charlie's, and we'll have a drink. You said later on?
Yes.
All right, later on it'll be.
Is there something I can do for you?
What did you have in mind? Let me give you one of my
looking for someone over there?
Yes, I'm looking for my friend Harvey. I turned my back for an instant, and he seems to have wandered off. I'd be happy to buy you a drink.
Oh, I can't. My husband and I are going to a cocktail party. I'll tell you what I'll do, however.
What will you do, however? I'm interested.
If I meet your friend inside, I'll be glad to give him a message for you. Any particular place downtown?
No, he knows where. Oh, you can't miss him, Mrs. Chumley. He's a pooka.
We might do another one that starts with the B. It's in Spanish. I'm not going to say what it is, but you guys know.
I constructed this myself.
That's so, I declare.
It's very simple. See?
Is this gonna come back into play later in the film? I bet it's foreshadowing something.
That's remarkable.
How about the difficulty of this woman with the big white rabbit? Has it been smoothed over?
Yes, Doctor.
Good.
She called him Harvey.
Unusual name for an animal of any kind.
Hey, what's with you and that hat?
Hat?
Here's your hat, Dr. Chumley.
But whose hat is it? Look at this. 2 holes cut in the crown.
A few minutes ago, I met a gentleman at the gate. His name was Dowd. He said he was looking for a friend of his named Harvey.
Harvey?
Yes, Harvey. He said his friend was a pooka. Whatever that is.
Where did he go, Mrs. Chumley?
He went downtown.
Do you know what you've done? You've allowed a psychopathic case to walk out of here and roam around with an overgrown white rabbit. You've laid me open to a lawsuit. I'm going to call my attorney.
Wilson.
Yes, ma'am.
What's a pooka?
What's a what?
From old Celtic mythology, a fairy spirit in animal form, always very large. The pooka appears here and there, now and then, to this one and that one. A benign but mischievous creature.
She was interested, and then she realized she's got more important things to do.
Well, she took Uncle Elwood out to the sanitarium. I thought you knew. What's the name of this place? Chumley's what?
Chumley's Rest. Yeah, Elwood had everything. Brains, personality, and friends. Men liked him. Women liked him. I liked him.
Women liked him. Uncle Elwood?
Oh, the minute their backs were turned, I ran like a frightened rabbit. I didn't mean to say that. Out to the taxi cab to get Elwood's things. This awful man stepped out. He grabbed hold of me and he took me in there and he tore my clothes off. And then he dumped me down in a tub of water.
Godfrey, I'll sue them for this.
I always said that if a man jumped at me, I'd fight, and I always said that, little
Yes,
man.
she's always said that, Judge. That's what Mother's always told me to do.
Treated me as though I was a crazy woman. Want to sue them. Tried to do anything about Elwood. Something protects him. That awful pooka. Little May, I hope that never, never, as long as you live, a man tears the clothes off you and sets you down in a tub of water. There he is now. He's after me. Knock him down, Judge. Kick him, kick him. Don't let him get...
He can kick him. Don't let him get me. Kick him, kick him.
I want no part of that wacky dame. I'm looking for that other screwball.
My name's Marvin Wilson, honey. What's yours?
Myrtle May, and I'm not afraid of you.
You know, if we grab your uncle, you'll probably be coming out to the sanitarium on visiting day.
Well, really, I don't know.
Well, if you do, I'll be there.
You will?
Did she say she was 14 or something? Because that was kind of uncomfortable.
Hey, you shouldn't have any trouble about callers, honey.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll tell you something, Mert.
Yeah?
You know, you not only got a nice build, but you got something else, too.
Really, what?
You got the screwiest uncle that ever stuck his puss inside our nut house.
Okay.
Would you like a ham and rye?
How about an egg and onion?
I'd love to make you an egg and onion.
Really? That word, I don't know. I'm gonna say that she wasn't used to the attention she got.
I'm entertaining some friends down there tonight at 10 o'clock. May I have my regular booth? Oh, fine, thank you.
That's right, we do have plans at 10 o'clock, so I don't know why they didn't say that. We didn't say where he'd be. We just know that he's gonna have drinks at 10 o'clock up until now. So that statement I've just made kind of null and void.
Business before pleasure, honey. Even if it's a pleasure being with you. I'll see you tomorrow, Myrtle. Out at the nut house.
Egg and onion sandwich. That's gotta do wonders for the breath.
Chumley, just the man I want to see. Mrs. Simmons has just retained me to file suit against you.
You know, I've been searching... file suit?
I'm on my way to the office to draw up the necessary papers.
Judge Gaffney, what happened this afternoon was an unfortunate mistake.
I want to tell him to sue you for $100,000. I don't think $50,000 is enough. Hello? Oh, no, I am not listening to my radio. That portrait of my mother, Doctor, happens to be the pride of this house.
I suppose if you have the money, you can persuade people to do anything.
I took a course in art.
Just turn around.
The photograph shows only the reality. The painting shows not only the reality, but the dream behind it. It's our dreams, Doctor, that carry us on. They separate us from the beasts, putting them on.
That's an interesting perspective about the picture and painting.
That is not my mother.
Oh, I'm very glad.
Elwood's been here.
That's funny.
Where are you, dear?
Is Harvey there?
Harvey's here. Why don't you come home? Can't come to the telephone. He's in the bathtub.
Never mind, Vita. Harvey just walked in the door down here. Mr. Cracker, 2 martinis.
Well, that just gave away his position or his location.
He's at Charlie's place. That's a bar over at 12th and Main.
Sounds funny, but I'll miss this place. I guess I'll miss a lot of things around here. You won't laugh.
Of course not.
I'm going to miss every one of the psychos and the neuros and the schizos in the place. I guess I'll even miss Dr. Chumley. In spite of the fact that he fired me, I have a genuine admiration for him.
But after you leave here, I won't miss a thing. Not a single solitary...
She likes him.
Nothing. I came down here to say goodbye to you. So goodbye, good luck, and good riddance.
Goodbye and good luck, and good riddance.
That chip on your shoulder stems from a persecution complex that undoubtedly goes back to childhood.
Well, thanks so much for the case history, Doctor. Now could you tell me what an overinflated ego stems from?
Now listen here.
She lied to you and you turned it into kind of a confrontation.
Didn't Dr. Chumley come back here with that psycho?
Well, we thought he was with you.
No. The name of the place, Wilson.
The name of the place was a barroom and a guy's name. Charlie. Charlie's place. I remember.
Well, that's the lead. We'll start from...
Miss Kelly, these are for you.
Why, thank you, Mr. Dowd.
Dr. Chumley is your friend, and he only wants to help you.
Isn't that nice of him? I'd be very glad to help him, too.
You know, we all must face reality, Dowd, sooner or later.
Well, I wrestled with reality for 35 years, Doctor, and I'm happy to state I finally won out over it.
Sorry, guys, I haven't said anything in a while. I got kind of fixated on what was going on.
Then introduced Harvey to the doctor, and he sat down in the booth with it.
You say this other matter came up, Mr. Dowd.
Yes, there was a beautiful blonde woman named of Mrs. Smithers. Dr. Chumley went over to sit next to her, explaining to her that they had once met. Her escort escorted Dr. Chumley back here to Harvey and me.
Harvey and I.
So Harvey and I felt that we should take the doctor somewhere else. And Harvey suggested Blondie's Chicken Inn, but the doctor wanted to go to Eddie's. And while they were arguing about it, I went up to the bar to order another drink, and when I came back here, they were gone. At first, Dr. Chumley seemed a little frightened of Harvey, but that gave way to admiration as the evening wore on. That's a very nice expression, isn't it? With your permission, I'll say it again.
Yeah. The evening wore on.
You did something to Dr. Chumley, and I'm gonna find out. Come on!
Why would he have a gun?
Mr. Dowd vouches for you, okay.
Well, stimulating as all this is, I think we all should have our drinks.
Well, all stimulating. I'm sorry, I'm just getting caught up in words at the moment. It's just fun for me.
Goodbye, Mr. Wilson.
Goodbye.
My regards to you and anybody else you happen to run into.
Yeah. I like that. I like what he said there.
Dowd, can't you think of anything else that might help us to find the doctor?
Well, I've told it all. Perhaps you'd like to dance, Miss Kelly.
All right, Mr. Dowd, if you'd like to.
Oh, not I. Dr. Sanderson would love to dance with somebody as lovely as you.
Would you, Miss Kelly?
All right.
What's wrong with him?
Forgotten what a wonderful dancer you were.
If we didn't have to humor Mr. Dowd, you wouldn't have remembered at all.
I'm not dancing with you to humor Mr. Dowd, Ruth.
Is that her middle name or is that her last name?
Oh, we shouldn't have left him alone.
I used to know a whole lot of dances. Flea hop, black bottom, the varsity drag.
What about the Charleston?
Harvey and I sit in the bars, and we have friends. And they come over, and they sit with us, they drink with us, they talk to us. They tell about the big, terrible things they've done and the big, wonderful things they'll do. Their hopes and their regrets, their loves and their hates, all very large, because nobody ever brings anything small into a bar.
How did you happen to call him Harvey?
Harvey's his name. Down along the street, and I heard this voice saying, "Good evening, Mr. Dowd." Here was this big 6-foot rabbit leaning up against a lamppost.
This is fascinating.
I said to him, I said, "You have the advantage on me. You know my name, and I don't know yours. What name do you like?" So I said to him, I said, "Harvey. My name happens to be Harvey."
That is very interesting.
What was your father's name?
John Stuyvesant.
When you were a child, Didn't you have a playmate? What was his name?
Vern McElhenney.
I know what the doctor's trying to do. Say that the name was Harvey.
Didn't you ever know anybody by that name?
No.
But that's interesting that he likes names right away. Because I can never come up with good names for stuff. You know, there's John, there's Jim, there's Kelly, there's Ann.
Which one is Dowd?
Well, my name's Dowd, Elwood P. Here, let me give you one of my cards.
Never mind the card. Wilson, what did I...
I can never come up with good names quickly. Or judge, you know, or just have a feeling about a person's name because I have no idea what it would actually be. Did that door just open by itself? I think it did.
Somebody must have come through a window. Yes, Doc. Sanderson. He's after me.
Who's after you, Doctor?
I don't see anyone. I saw him. He came through the window and followed me through. Who was it, Doctor?
Who came through the window, Doctor?
I won't tell you. What's he talking about?
Talking about Harvey.
I'm going to my office, and I don't wish to be disturbed.
I don't know if I would actually go back to your office or not.
I'd like to speak to you in my office alone, please.
Oh, well, I'd like that too, Doc.
Is there anything I can do for you?
What did you have in mind?
What could I do for you? Oh, I'm sorry, what did you have in mind?
Harvey, the pooka.
Yes, it's true. The things you told me tonight.
Did I tell you he could stop clocks?
To what purpose?
Well, you've heard the expression his face will stop a clock.
I haven't heard of that expression.
Can look at your clock and stop it. And you can go anywhere you like, with anyone you like, and stay as long as you like, and when you get back, not 1 minute will have ticked by. Science has overcome time and space. Well, Harvey has overcome not only time and space, but any objections.
Will he do this for you?
Oh, he'd be willing at any time. Yeah. But so far, I haven't been able to think of any place I'd rather be. I always have a wonderful time, wherever I am, whomever I'm with.
I'd go to Akron. There's a cottage camp just outside Akron. I'd go there with a pretty woman.
Oh.
A strange woman. A quiet woman.
Oh, under a tree.
I wouldn't even want to know her name. Things that I've never told to anyone. Things that are locked deep in here. And as I talk to her, I would want her to hold out a soft white hand and say, "Poor thing. You poor thing."
How long would you want this to go on, Doctor?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I'm sorry, I just read that.
Would he do this for me?
Oh, he could and might. I've never heard Harvey say a word against Akron.
Mr. Dowd, none of those people are your friends. This sister of yours is at the bottom of a conspiracy against you. She's trying to persuade me to lock you up. Today she had commitment papers drawn up. She has your power of attorney and the key to your safety box. And she brought you here.
My mother used to say, in this world, Elwood, you must be oh so smart or oh so pleasant. Well, for years I was smart. I recommend pleasant. You may quote me.
Wouldn't you want to do both? Smart would probably be my preferred if I had to choose one. Just if I had to choose one.
Not wait here. I'm going in with you.
Now, Mother, you know it isn't right to put Uncle Elwood away without some blood relative being present.
Well, in my opinion, Elwood P. Dowd is suffering from a third-degree hallucination, and I recommend formula number 977. Now, that's a powerful serum which will shock him back to reality.
Nothing will do that. Lock him up.
If this shock formula brings people back to reality, that's where we want Elwood.
Yes, if he won't see the rabbit anymore, give it to him.
I have a formula, 977, that will be good for you. Will you take it?
977?
Yes, it's a serum.
Oh.
You won't see this rabbit anymore.
But you will see your responsibilities and your duties.
Vita, do you want me to take this?
Oh, Elwood, I'm only thinking of you. You're my brother, and I've known you for years. I'd do anything for you. Not if Myrtle May and I have to go on living with that rabbit. Our friends never come to see us anymore. We have no social life whatever. We've no life at all.
I don't think it's right that he has to make this decision.
I'll take it. Where do I go, Doctor?
In my office, Mr. I'll need you to give me a hand, Miss Kelly.
The rabbit's not hurting him. Seeing the rabbit's not hurting anyone. It's just that other people are uncomfortable with it.
Dr. Sanderson said it wouldn't take long.
And she basically gaslighted him into doing it, which is not right.
Lady jumped out of my cab and left without paying me. She didn't say anything, and the fella gets nervous after a while.
How much is it?
All the way out here from town? $2.75.
$2.75, man. I wish. $2.75.
Elwood, I came off without my coin purse. Would you please give this man $2.75? But don't give him any more. He's been very rude.
Here, keep the change. And I'm glad to meet you, Mr. Lofgren.
I brought him out here to get that stuff, and I drove him home after they had it. It changes them.
Well, I certainly hope so.
They sit back and enjoy the ride. They talk to me. Sometimes we stop and watch the sunsets and look at the birds flying. Sometimes we stop and watch the birds when there ain't no birds and look at the sunsets when it's raining. We have a swell time, and I always get a big tip. But afterwards, they yell at me, watch the lights, watch the brakes, watch the intersections. They scream at me to hurry. They got no faith in me or my buggy. Yet, it's the same cab, same driver, and we're going back over the very same road. It's no fun. And no tips.
Oh, no, no.
So now you're concerned.
You haven't given him the injection already, have you?
No, but we're all ready, Mrs. Simmons.
What's wrong? She wants to stop the injection.
If Elwood and Myrtle May and I want to live with Harvey, what is it to you? You don't even have to come around. It's our house. Why, look at that. It's my coin purse. Harvey.
So they believe. I do like the expression on her face, though.
Oh, well, there you are. Well, I've been looking all over for you.
Mr. Dowd, don't take him away. Let him stay with me.
Well, Doctor, whatever he wants to do is perfectly all right with me.
Have you ever been to Akron?
So he goes with the doctor.
I thought you decided to stay with Dr. Chumley. Huh? I prefer you, too.
So Harvey stays with Elwood. Harvey as himself. I like that a lot. I like the fact that they gave Harvey a credit at the very end. That was actually very funny, but it does tell me one thing about the filmmakers and everyone involved is that they actually cared about what they were making and how much love and care that they actually put into it. They were actually having fun with it, and I really do like that quite a bit. For most of the movie, I thought that it was about mental and physical health, more so mental than physical, but mental health and that sort of thing, because for the majority of the film, um, Elwood was the only one that could see Harvey. And I like the fact that we kind of get information about Harvey as the film goes on. Of course, I knew the big one, which is it's a white rabbit, but I didn't know exactly how tall he was. That was kind of interesting. I did not see how tall he was coming or the twist that the people at Chumley's Rest thought it was her that needed to be committed. That was a nice surprise. And that sort of thing. So I really thought this movie was going to be more about mental health, and for the majority of the movie it was, until about the last hour. It's when we got that definition of what a pooka is that it really turned into about mythology and faith and mythology and that sort of thing, which I thought was kind of interesting that you could have it on both sides of the coin, so to speak. I'm not sure if that's the right expression, but you could basically play it off as, yes, it's a mental health film, or it's something that you believe in mythology-wise. kind of like Zeus or Ares or Greek mythology. Um, that was kind of interesting. I really liked the characters and the actors in this one for sure because they actually took the time to build up the characters and make the characters believable. Jimmy Stewart really steals the show in this one with his performances, with his performance, and I really believe that he sees this imaginary rabbit, and then later on, I start to believe that um, the sister starts seeing the imaginary rabbit, um, and that's kind of interesting that she confessed that to the doctor, and that's what made him think about committing her into the hospital, which I find very, very fascinating. So, um, I think the that the person that suggested this knew that I liked characters and I liked character building, and I really liked um, really diving into what makes the character tick, and I really do like that. So this was a great recommendation for someone who, like me, who really gets into why do characters behave the way they do, and why they act the way they do. So that was a great recommendation. So thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. Not only are we dealing with Elwood's uh, character flaws and his perception of the world and how people perceive him and how he perceives others, but we're also dealing with other characters and their relationships as well, like the nurse and her relationship with the Mr. Chumley and Dr. Sanderson and their relationship and how that affects everyone around them, including the way that they speak to their patients and that sort of thing, um, which I thought was fascinating as well. So there's a lot of character growth and development and stuff like that. Now, Kelly and Sanderson, I believe it is, uh, have a history that we're not privy to, and we will never get to know the history, but we got a glimpse of it. Um, that they have a history when they're talking about their work preferences and how they operate and how they work, but also when they're dancing too. She says, you, you never would have found that out if we didn't have to please Mr. Dowd with this, um, which I found really, really fascinating. Um, the the dialogue the dialogue in this is really good. It's also got some really good um just it's really got some good wisdom for life lessons and stuff like that and um things you can take away from it that turn out to be true, just words of wisdom to live by and that sort of thing, which I also like. I like to find words of wisdom that remain true throughout, life and how that something that you could always carry forward with you no matter what. Kind of like there's always a silver lining about each and every day. Even if you have a bad day, you could always find something that was enjoyable about your day. It may just be the lunch that you had. It might be that, um, a stranger just said hello to you. Even if you're having the most, uh, horrible day ever, it is still there's still something about it that you could find a silver lining in. So that's what I really like about this film is that you can really uh, get something out of it and really something meaningful out of it as well. There's one thing I want to bring up, and it's the fact that Elwood owns the house due to the fact that the mother died in his arms and that sort of thing, and yet the sister has the gall to try and commit him, and I would imagine there might be an investigation just to see if there's a problem with that or anything like that, because this has all come about because they're trying to set something up for Myrtle May. And here's the thing, they don't have to live with um the brother, as far as I know. Now, it might have been different in the 1950s, for all I know. Uh, Again, I'm viewing this from a 2023 lens, so you would please forgive me if I'm not aware of the social and political correctness of the 1950s, but I don't think they're stuck there, is what I'm trying to say. I think they could move out and they could presume their lives without Elwood being there if they really wanted to. But it was just a way for them to not have to pay for rent or anything like that, have to worry about anything like that. So there is that aspect to it. I find it kind of funny and kind of cool that this takes place all in a day, at least story wise. This all takes place within a day and that sort of thing. I just kind of find that fascinating when stories give you a timeline and they kind of stick to that timeline, so we get kind of you know, this happened within only a day, so within 24 hours. I just find that kind of fascinating. But I think that's all that I want to cover. Really the big three that I wanted to cover in this video. If you guys want to know more thoughts about what I think of Harvey, just ask them down in the comments below, and I would be happy to answer any questions that I did not answer in this video for the post commentary or the post reaction, if you will. With that being said, guys, consider subscribing, liking, and commenting, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.